Hello friends, today we are going to talk about how the USSR helped India during the 1971 war. In East Pakistan, people demanded a separate nation while horrific atrocities unfolded, men were brutally killed and women subjected to unspeakable abuse. These horrors forced millions to flee East Pakistan and seek refuge in India. Confronted with this humanitarian crisis, India had no choice but to intervene in Pakistan's internal conflict. Yet India did not initiate hostilities, it only responded after Pakistan launched attacks on Indian territory. When Pakistan commenced its offensive, India responded with full strength. The Indian army was fully mobilized, and during the 1971 war, India not only secured military victory but also witnessed the emergence of a new nation, Bangladesh. However, the war's significance extended beyond Bangladesh's birth. While the USSR stood steadfastly with India, the UK withdrew its support and even deployed its missile-capable fleet to threaten India. At this critical juncture, a pivotal ally emerged. USSR stepped forward decisively. Why did the USSR become involved? Why did aircraft carriers from the UK and allied nations retreat despite supporting Pakistan? In 1971, India faced international isolation, with major powers seeking its suppression. Only the USSR openly backed India, while China, Britain, and the USA sided with Pakistan. The USA even deployed Task Force 74, also known as the 7th Fleet, to the Bay of Bengal in a show of force. At that moment, the USSR did more than deter American interference, it also blocked Chinese intervention. In 1971, Pakistan was racked by civil war. Since its founding in 1947, Pakistan had failed to reconcile the ideological rift between East and West, leading ultimately to division, exactly as Jinnah had predicted. Although Bengali was the majority language in East Pakistan, Urdu was imposed as the national language, sparking deep resentment. East Pakistan was economically vibrant, yet political and military power lay firmly in West Pakistan's hands. In the 1970 elections, the Awami League won 167 out of 313 seats and prepared to install Mujibur Rahman as Prime Minister, but West Pakistan rejected the mandate. The rejection triggered brutal repression and demands for independence in East Pakistan. Pakistan's military launched a devastating crackdown, over 3 million civilians were killed, thousands of women raped, and schools and hospitals destroyed. Millions fled to India, overwhelming its towns and villages. Recognizing the magnitude of the crisis, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi raised the issue internationally. Yet President Nixon dismissed India's pleas, allowing the atrocities to continue while the world remained silent. Plans emerged for an attack on India. On 3 December, Pakistan struck 11 Indian airfields, but failed. In retaliation, India formally declared war on 10 December. Although India upheld non-alignment, its ties with the USSR were unbreakable. Meanwhile, Afghanistan and China had aligned with the USSR and embraced communism. To curb Soviet influence in South Asia, America forged strategic ties with Pakistan. India's purpose remained clear: to support East Pakistan's quest for freedom. Under the leadership of General Sam Manekshaw and Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, Indian forces entered Pakistani territory, catching them by surprise. Alarmed, the US feared India might overrun all of Pakistan. Consequently, US and allied support for Pakistan intensified. President Nixon summoned India's ambassador, warning that America would not side with India and reaffirming its obligations to Pakistan under treaty. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi addressed a massive rally at Ramlila Maidan, declaring resolutely, "Foreign powers may threaten us, but we will not bow." At the UN, Henry Kissinger pressed for Chinese intervention and military action against India. The USSR vetoed the motion and warned China. Chinese diplomat Wang He refused to support escalation. Fearing conflict, the US dispatched Task Force 74, led by the nuclear-powered USS Enterprise, loaded with fighter jets, bombers, guided missile cruisers, destroyers, and submarines. India, in contrast, had only one aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. Just months earlier, in August 1971, India had signed the Indo-Soviet Treaty of Peace, Friendship, and Cooperation, ensuring Soviet support in case of attack. Soviet intelligence uncovered a planned naval assault on India by the UK and US from the Bay of Bengal, reportedly involving HMS Eagle. On 13 December, Soviet Admiral Vladimir Krylyakov launched Operation Trident, deploying two task forces equipped with cruisers, destroyers, submarines, and support ships into the Indian Ocean. Their strategy: to encircle the US fleet and strike if needed. Realizing the Soviet threat, the British fleet diverted toward Madagascar, while the US fleet stalled near Sri Lanka. The USSR had secured naval superiority. The Indian Navy continued its offensive, encircling East Pakistan from multiple directions. Indian warships even bombarded the Governor's house in Dhaka, where Pakistani officials were convening. Stricken by panic, Pakistani generals surrendered. On 16 December 1971, with 93,000 troops surrendering, Pakistan suffered its worst defeat. Indira Gandhi announced the creation of Bangladesh. So the question remains, why did America send Task Force 74 near India? The answer lies in geopolitics. America feared India's growing influence and intimate alliance with the USSR. Washington could not afford to lose sway in South Asia. While the US, UK, and China backed Pakistan, only the USSR stood firmly with India. Driven by Cold War paranoia and hubris, President Nixon misjudged the situation, and ultimately, only the USSR had India's back. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon for more updates. See you in the next video.